Mano, como é que é o nome? O Amendobobo do caralho. Como é que é o nome? Sorvete do... Ah! Porra, o negócio lá, todo mundo sabe o que que é, velho. Eu só queria saber como é que faz, só isso. Essa aqui é a realidade. Bim
And
Bim
here's a
não é o
triple
Crazy
gooberberry
Frog?
sunrise, sir.
Oh, triple gooberberry sunrise, huh? Well, I guess I could use one of those.
O vídeo é em inglês e o cara legendou em inglês. Aí é foda, né, mano?
There
Garçom!
you
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish.
Vocês querem que eu coloque a tradução automática das legendas aqui? Vai aparecer uns bagulho tipo, eu assaltei um cara e agora eu vou colocar banana. Coloca aí, tá, vem. Garçom, não tô nem enxergando a tela, como é que eu vou traduzir, porra? Português. Aí, ó, vambora.
This week we're taking a look at the hotly requested triple gooberberry sunrise from SpongeBob.
Mano, eu não sabia que esse era o
This
nome.
episode is sponsored by Audible, the leading provider of auditory entertainment and audiobooks. While we're all at home, Audible has tons of
O cara vai
great
fazer um
content for us to
sorvete com
enjoy.
patrocínio
Go to
de som.
audible.com/babish
É pôr a
or text
JBL no
Babish to
sorvete.
500 to get access to one free
Tô passando a D.
Megan Sundays. First up, we have to make a custard. I'm starting with 1 cup of whole milk and SpongeBob and
Dá pra acompanhar a receita, tá? A tradução tá bem feita. Vocês acompanham a receita, vocês fazem o sorvete do Bob Esponja aí que eu quero ver.
Patrick looked like they were in kind of an old-timey soda shop, so I'm going to add 15 grams of non-diastatic malt powder, which I'm going to
Eu já não sei o que é isso, mas como não sou eu que vou fazer, é vocês.
aggressively whisk using a full-size whisk because this stuff likes to clump. Once fully incorporated, I'm going to add 2 cups of heavy cream. Then, just like any ice cream base, this stuff needs a sweetener. But I wanted to try to add at least 1 undersea ingredient, so I'm going to add 15 grams of carrageenan.
O que é isso? O cara tá inventando coisa. Isso aqui é coisa de química, certeza. Isso aqui não existe.
A red seaweed extract that's commonly used as a thickener and that's going to make for a smoother, more scoopable ice cream. This stuff also loves to clump, but if we tiny whisk it into our sugar, it's going to get dispersed more evenly
Ele fez um açúcar com droga, e daí?
and fully dissolve without putting up a fuss. Now,
Caralho, é por isso que o Bob Esponja ficava doidão. Caralho, Bob Esponja, seu nóia.
the next step is to make sure that both everybody is dissolved and homogeneous and also bring our mixture up to the barest of simmers. We just want little bubbles forming around the outside of the pot. Stir frequently to make sure that the milk doesn't scorch, kill the heat once you start seeing the little bubbles, and then it's time to start tempering our eggs. More accurately, 5 large egg
Não tô ligado a quantidade de tomate que eu tô comendo.
yolks that we're going to place in a heat-proof bowl and swaddle with a moistened towel that will allow us to whisk one-handedly as we slowly ladle in the hot milk and cream mixture. At first you want to add this in a very, very, very slow stream, but by the 3rd or 4th ladle full, your eggs will be tempered and you can add it faster. All in all, you want to whisk about 1/3 of the hot stuff.
Eu achei que
into
só
the
dava
cold
pra
stuff
fazer
before adding
sorvete
the
em
cold stuff
máquina.
back into the hot stuff. Make sense? Good, because now we're headed back to the stovetop, where over medium-low heat, we're going to bring this mixture up to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Whisking
Oi, Manelis.
constantly to make sure that nobody's scrambling on the bottom of the pot, and you'll know it's done both when it reaches 185 degrees Fahrenheit and when it reaches a state that the
Tomaria sorvete de cocaína, porra. Se o Bob Esponja tomou, por que eu não posso tomar? O Bob Esponja é da hora pra caralho.
French referred to as nup, which roughly translates to thick enough to coat the back of a spoon and to leave a trail when a finger is dragged across its surface. Actually, I think it literally translates to tablecloth, but whatever. Next
Não
up, during
entendi.
your Sunday consumption,
Cachaça. Caralho, mas mano, isso aqui eu tô em dúvida se ele vai fazer um ritual ou um sorvete, porra.
SpongeBob and Patrick appeared to be getting inebriated. So this being from a cartoon, we're going to incorporate a little bit of this brown liquid from this bottle marked XXX. One can only imagine what this brown liquid could possibly
Que é isso, whisky?
be, but let's just say that it's whiskey. So once killing the heat under our custard, we're going to add about 2 ounces of XXX mystery brown liquid, plus
Oh, essa baunilha aqui custa 8 milhões de reais. Nunca nem vi na minha vida.
the sliced and scraped carcass of one vanilla bean. We're doing this while the custard is still hot so that the flavors can better
Cara, eu
steep.
nunca nem
That
vi
being
essa
said,
baunilha,
the
pra
faster
ser
we
bem
cool off
sincero.
our custard, the better. So we're placing a smaller bowl into a larger bowl filled with salted ice and water, and pouring the custard into the smaller bowl. Basically, the ice is going to cool things off, the salt is going to make the ice disperse its coldness faster, and the water is going to make sure that the coolness is evenly distributed. We're whisking occasionally for about 10 minutes until it reaches 72 degrees Fahrenheit, covering with plastic wrap and fridging for at least 4 hours or until fully chilled and ready to churn. Then we're churning via your churning method of choice, making sure to remember to remove that vanilla pod, trying desperately and failing to get our lid into place. Come on, there we go.
Mano, eu olhei pro lado, o cara trouxe o... que é isso? Um aspirador de pó? Mano, eu olhei pro lado, num segundo o cara trouxe um robô. Que porra é essa?
Fully chilled and ready to churn. Then we're churning via your churning method.
A
of
máquina que eu
choice,
falei é
making
de
sure to
fazer
remember to
sorvete.
Remove that vanilla pod, trying desperately and
Falei?
failing to get our lid into place. Come on, there we go. And churning for about 35 minutes or until we get a consistency similar to very firm soft
Falei,
serve.
tem que fazer
If
na
you don't
máquina,
have an
senão
ice cream
fica uma
machine,
bosta.
go ahead and click the link
Igual
in the upper
Danoninho
right-hand panel
gelado.
right now to see how to make ice cream by hand.
Oh, caralho, a texturinha do pai. A texturinha do pai.
However you churn it, it's now ready to head into the freezer. So we're going to scrape out as much
Nossa, mano.
of this delicious gunk as we possibly can into the freezer-safe vessel of your choice. Optionally press some wax paper or plastic wrap directly down onto the surface to prevent freezer burn. Cover it up and freezer it for at least 4 hours, ideally overnight. Plenty of time to contend with the thing that I might be allergic to, so I'm wearing...
Ai, roubou a brisa. Porra, eu não curto isso aqui, mano. Eu não gosto nem do cheiro, velho. Nossa, aí rouba a brisa.
gloves, the festive bananas that we're going to have visibly jutting out of all different points of the sundae.
Caralho, o cara é
peeling them,
alérgico a
slicing them
banana,
half,
mano,
and
super
repeatedly
hétero.
skewering them with toothpicks. This would obviously make them hazardous to eat at the speed at which SpongeBob and Patrick were eating them, but I'm positive that there's no other way that they're going to stay in place. I'm also going to pop these in the freezer for about an hour to increase their rigidity. Then, finally, it's time to assemble our triple gooberberry
Chupa meu
sunrise.
pinto,
We got
então,
ourselves an
seu
old school
vagabundo.
looking blue
Player
glass
for
ice
bot,
cream
obrigado
bowl,
pelo
into
seu
which we're gonna
Prime, mano.
deposit
Seja
three
bem-vindo.
very
Nossa, caralho, moleque, vou desabafar aqui pra vocês. Eu fui naquela porra daquele restaurante da Hello Kitty, com todo respeito à Hello Kitty aí, não, quem sou eu pra julgar a sua casa? Mas eu fui no restaurante da Hello Kitty, eu paguei R$16 numa bola de sorvete, e a bola de sorvete era desse tamanhozinho aqui, ó, uma bosta, velho. Vai se fuder, Hello Kitty. Porra,
very
que
large scoops
lixo,
of ice cream.
ridículo.
And I gotta say, guys, this Carrageenan stuff makes for very scoopable ice cream. This stuff spent over 12 hours in the freezer and it's still super soft. Now,
A mulher conseguia pegar a bola de sorvete com a colher de sobremesa, mano.
Make sure that there is no
Desgraça do
extraneous
caralho.
meltage during assembly. First up, our little ice cream buddy appears to have a hot fudge hairdo. So I'm just gonna place a generous dollop of cool
Chupa
fudge
meu
on top
pinto,
of the
então, seu
Tinha cabelo no
vagabundo.
boneco?
Boa noite,
Boa
Scott.
noite.
Tenho uma redação pra fazer, mas prefiro ver tu cara sonriente.
Tá certo. Sam, obrigado pelo seu receber de 4. Seja bem-vindo mais uma vez, como é que você tá?
top scoop, top that with the banana hat, and flank with our 2 banana arms. Then the face appeared to be made from green, blue, and red candies. So I've got green and blue M&Ms and 1 red peanut M&M, which we really gotta shove in there to make them stay in
Ô,
place.
louco!
And then an inviting red licorice smile. Then I
Ah. Pô, comia pelo Bob Esponja, mano, e eu odeio banana, velho.
assume that the triple gooberberry refers to these 3 maraschino cherries delicately skewered on the end of each banana. And there you have it, the triple gooberberry...
Tá caindo o braço ali, ô.
Hang on a second, fix the eye
Tá
here.
caindo o
A
bra...
fast disintegrating but mildly intoxicating ice cream.
Cara, da hora, velho. Igualzinho, mano. Na moral, mostra o desenho aí que eu não lembro. Pode ser que tá uma bosta também. Na minha cabeça tá igualzinho.
Sunday. Now to give it a try, I think the most upsetting thing to do would be to take a scoop out of this guy's face. Sorry, little friend. And I'll tell you right now, this is far and away the best homemade ice cream I've ever made. The texture
Não ficou bom. Caralho, eu achei que ele ia falar que ficou muito bom. Ele falou que não ficou tão bom.
is pretty much commercial quality. It has
Caralho, mas aí, ponto positivo porque ele foi sincero, hein? Ponto positivo pela honestidade. Ele falou que foi o melhor? Esse
far
é
and
de
away the
longe
best.
o melhor sorvete. Ah, tá. Disfarce. Não foi sincero, então, porque ele já deve ter tomado um bacio de latte Todo mundo sabe que o bacil de latte é muito zica, melhor que todos.
Homemade ice cream I've ever made. The texture is
Chupa
pretty
meu
much commercial
pinto, então,
quality.
seu
It has a nice
vagabundo.
boozy flavor, but it's not
Nada
overwhelming
melhor que
thanks to
uma
the malt.
livezinha
But
depois
in
de
this whole
assistir
sundae,
palestra da
there's just about a
faculdade.
half a shot of bourbon
JP,
total. And
brigadão
SpongeBob
pelo
and
seu
Pat
recebe de
eat like
5,
10 of
mano.
these each, so it
Tamo
kinda makes
junto,
sense.
velho.
But if you're trying to cut back on
Que é
calories,
isso? Afogou o amendoim.
you might just want to pour some XXX liquid directly on top. Ooh, that's somehow even more upsetting, kind of like the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And as an ice cream topping, it's just kind of so-so. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna run and grab my EpiPen because I think I'm allergic to bananas. Thanks again to the folks at Audible for sponsoring this video.
O cara
Especially
ficou
right now,
doido,
screen-
do nada ele ficou, quer saber? Ele ficou louco.
Fatigue is real, and Audible is a great way to occupy your mind while giving your eyes a much-needed break. Along with a vast
Caralho!
library of thousands of titles, Audible Originals are audio exclusives from quite a diverse group. They're also
Mano, quer saber? Eu fiz o melhor sorvete da minha vida. Vou jogar um monte de whisky em cima aqui, foda-se. Mano, realmente esse sorvete faz coisas com a cabeça, mano. Não é só o Bob Esponja que ficou maluco não, velho. Da hora, vou experimentar.